Good morning, everybody. I'm Betu Day. My name is Doug McDonald. For those of you that don't know me, for those of you that do, uh, I'll get that money to you as soon as my brother straightens up. He's got a kink in his back. He's going to straighten up soon, though. Thank you to Gail and Art for honoring me with the opportunity to honor our friend and mentor, Dr. Joseph Everett Trimble. I wish I could be there with you all to do this and to sing an honor song. Unfortunately, I'm headed to Montana, to Northern Cheyenne country tomorrow for a family reunion. So I wanted to do something to pay tribute and speak to our honored elder today. I wanted to spend a great deal of time expounding upon the achievements of Dr. Trimble and went to print out his Vita, and it broke our printer. And once we got the printer fixed, I started again, and it ran out of ink because his Vita is like 60 some pages long. And that probably doesn't even capture everything that Dr. Trimble has done over the years. And if you want to see the specifics, there are multiple places, if you just Google Dr. Joe Trimble, that you can find the specifics of his history. Um, Instead, I would like to just focus on a couple of personal and social notions about Dr. Trimble that I'm sure all of you either share with me, or for those of you that are just perhaps getting to meet and know him, you will understand and be able to attribute to him. The first aspect of Joe that is most significant to me, by all means, is his mentorship. I think about the conference that you're all at, and I think my mind goes back over the decades to when I and folks like Joe Gahn and Becky Crawford, Kevin Foley, Ron Morton, so many others, Mike Cummings, so many others, and I'm too old to remember everybody, but we were hot-headed. Mike Williams, we were hot-headed. Charlie Stewart, Sitting Bull. We were hot-headed young graduate students, most of us, not quite knowing the best and most effective and ways to channel that energy. And most of us were coming from scattered around the country, and we felt alone in our cause, if you will. And it was so refreshing to be able to come together at the SIP conference and all that it has become to this day, thanks to great leadership over the years. But at the SIP conference, about the third or fourth one, and then follow-ups at APA, I had Dr. Joe Trimble as one of my idols, because there wasn't a lot out there that was being published at that time, or had been prior to then. And when you had professors telling many of us back in those days, you can't advance, you can't do a master's thesis or a doctoral dissertation unless you have some literature to back it up. It's still certainly true to this day. Well, there wasn't a lot of literature, and for some of us, we were very close to not being able to finish until we were able to thankfully find some of the writings of folks like Dr. Joe Trimble, who's been so incredibly prolific. So that was a lifeline. If that mentorship before he even knew us personally was a lifeline for many of us in terms of our scholarship and pursuit of our academic dreams, if you will. But then once we did meet, and again, I'm sure that I speak for many of those that I've mentioned, and dozens, and if not hundreds of others that I haven't, that you expected Joe to, I don't know, be more aloof, I guess, or elitist, perhaps, because that's the vibe that and the respect that he emanated, that emanated from him, and nothing could have been further from the truth. Back then and continued on through the years, Joe Trimble, if you go up to him and introduce yourself to him, he'll take you under his wing. He will treat you like you are the most important person that he's ever met. And what can he do to help you, to further your cause, to deepen your sense of motivation, to enhance your spiritual and emotional strength? What can he do to help you? And that was mind blowing. I've come to expect it over the years, and I'm honored to be able to call him friend to this day, as once again I speak for so many of you. Um, Fathership, fatherhood. I know how much Joe loves his girls, and sorry, but he provided an example for so many of us in terms of what kind of a father to be, whether that's being a father to your actual children, or again, tying back into mentorship, how to be a father figure once you get old enough to do so, to your students and those that you meet that you are older than. Even for those of us that weren't fortunate enough to have actual family members show us how to do that, uh, Joe is a shining example of the type of ate, the type of father to be, or the type of uncle, grandfather, for so many of us that needed that, uh, and still do, still do. Thank you for that as well, Joe. Um, for those of you, once again, that don't really know Dr. Trimble and his works, please avail yourself. Uh, one, there's no question that Dr. Trimble, let alone one of the top American Indian, one of the top psychologists of color across the board in terms of writing about American Indian mental health and counseling, but more significantly, for all people, for all people of color, and for all two-leggeds that walk the earth. You are cheating yourself if you don't read everything that Dr. Trimble has produced. And lastly and finally, if you don't go up to him and shake his hand and thank him and introduce yourself to him, then you're cheating yourself even more. Ampe tu washde, hechetu alo, mitakoye oyasan. Love you, Joe. You're my hero. And again, I speak for all of us. Best of luck and enjoy this day. You've been honored before and you'll be honored again, but today you're home.